If you walked into HDFC Bank today and the manager offered to double your money, the first question out of your mouth should not be, where do I sign? It should be, how long will it take? Because in India, everyone talks about doubling money. FD doubling in 12 years, property doubling in 10 years, stocks doubling in 6 years. Everyone throws these numbers around, but almost nobody knows how to actually calculate it. Time is the invisible variable that makes or breaks your entire financial life. Today, I want to share something that will change how you look at every rupee. There is a single number that unlocks the entire timeline of your wealth. That number is 72. If you divide 72 by your interest rate, you know exactly how many years it takes for your money to double. Sounds too simple. But this is one of the most powerful mental tools ever created for cutting through Indian financial marketing noise. Whether you look at a mutual fund, FD, home loan, or credit card, this rule tells you the truth about speed. And in Indian finance, speed is everything. Here is the honest truth. Most Indian investors are flying blind. They see 8% return and think that sounds okay. But they do not know what 8% actually means for their retirement date. Does it mean you retire at 40 or 60? The gap between those two numbers is your entire life. Today, I will walk you through the rule of 72, the math behind it, why it works, and how to use it to measure investment growth in India. But more importantly, I will show you the dark side of this rule, how it predicts the destruction of your purchasing power through Indian inflation and the explosion of your credit card debt through interest. By the end of this video, you will have a mental dashboard that changes how you see every financial decision. Let me start with the mental block that most Indians have. Okay, so here is the problem with how our brains work. We are linear creatures. If you take 30 linear steps, you cross Marine Drive. If you take 30 exponential steps, you circle the earth 26 times. We just cannot visualize compound growth. When your Grow app tells you your portfolio will grow at 12% a year, your brain interprets that as a slow straight line going up. But compound interest is not a line. It is a curve. And curves are deceptive. They start slow and then suddenly shoot vertical. Because Indians lack this intuition, we make terrible decisions. We delay investing because early results look boring. We ignore a 2% expense ratio. We keep 5 lakh in savings accounts, earning 3% thinking we are being safe. We need a translation layer. We need a way to turn percentages into time. That is exactly what the rule of 72 does. It converts abstract percentages into concrete Indian years. The formula is deceptively simple. You take 72 and divide it by your annual return rate. The result is the number of years it takes for your money to double. Let me run some Indian scenarios. If you have money in an SBI fixed deposit paying 6.5%, 72 divided by 6.5 equals 11. It will take 11 years for your money to double. Your 10 lakh becomes 20 lakh in 11 years. Now let us look at Nifty 50. Historically, Nifty has returned around 12% over long periods. 72 divided by 12 is 6. That means every 6 years, your Nifty 50 portfolio doubles. Your 10 lakh becomes 20 lakh in 6 years, 40 lakh in 12 years, 80 lakh in 18 years, and 1 crore 60 lakh in 24 years. Compare those two timelines. In the FD, you wait 11 years for one double. In Nifty 50, you get almost 4 doubles in the same time. That is the difference between having 20 lakh and having 1 crore 60 lakh, just based on doubling speed. Now you might ask, why 72? It is not magic. It involves natural logarithms. To find the exact doubling time, you use the natural log of 2, which is approximately 0.693. In a perfect world, we would use the rule of 69.3, but try dividing 69.3 by 7 or 8 in your head while standing in queue at your local Kirana store. Nightmare. The number 72 is chosen because it is close enough to be accurate, but it is also a highly composite number. You can divide 72 cleanly by 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 12. This makes it the ultimate mental shortcut. Is it perfect? No. But it gets you within a few months of the correct answer for most typical Indian investment returns. Now, let me share the first twist that most Indian finance videos never explain. Doubling your money sounds great, but there is a trap. Most people use the rule of 72 to fantasize about future wealth, but they forget to use it to calculate their current poverty. The same math that grows your assets is currently working 24 hours a day to destroy them. I'm talking about the invisible tax that no Indian voted for, but every Indian pays. Inflation. If you think Indian inflation is not a big deal, run the rule of 72 in reverse right now. We often hear the RBI targeting inflation of 4 to 5%. It sounds harmless. Vegetables became a little expensive. Your maid asked for a raise. You can handle that, right? But applying the rule of 72 shows the brutal reality of purchasing power in India. Instead of calculating how long it takes for money to double, we calculate how long it takes for your money value to be cut in half. If Indian inflation runs at 6%, which is close to actual CPI over the last decade, you divide 72 by 6. That gives you 12. In 12 years, every rupee you saved in cash will buy half as much as today. If you keep 20 lakh in a savings account today, in 12 years, that 20 lakh will have the buying power of the just 10 lakh. Your flat down payment fund halves. If you retire at 60 in India and live to 84, your cash savings have effectively lost 50% of their power just by sitting there in your own bank account. That is the silent killer of Indian retirement plans. Now, let us look at what happens when inflation spikes. In 2022, Indian inflation touched 7.8%. Onion prices doubled overnight. Tomatoes touched 200 rupees a kilo. If Indian inflation stays at 7%, 72 divided by 7 is roughly 10 years. In just 10 years, your money is worth half. This is why the safe option of keeping money in savings account in India is actually the risky option. Cash is a guaranteed loss. If your investments are not generating returns higher than inflation, you are not standing still, you are moving backward, and the rule tells you exactly how fast you are falling. The psychology is dangerous because erosion is slow enough to ignore daily. Atta going up by 2 rupees a kilo, dal by 10 rupees, milk by 3 rupees, until you look back 10 years later and your monthly grocery bill has doubled from 8,000 to 16,000. When you keep 5 lakh in an HDFC savings account, earning 3%, you're not preserving capital, you're paying a subscription fee to inflation. If Indian inflation is 6%, you're paying a 3% real wealth tax every year because your 3% savings interest is losing to 6% inflation. So, what is the protocol for Indians? View inflation as your minimum hurdle rate. If Indian inflation is 6%, your investments must return at least 6% just to break even. Anything above that is your real return. If you earn 12% from Nifty 50 and inflation is 6%, your real return is 6%. Now use the rule of 72 on that real return. 72 divided by 6 is 12. It takes 12 years to double your actual purchasing power, not just the number in your Zerodha app. Stop looking at nominal returns. Look at real returns after inflation. That is the only number that matters when you actually want to buy something in 20 years. Now, let me talk about the flip side that is even more dangerous for Indians. We have talked about assets growing and cash shrinking. But what about liabilities? This is where the rule of 72 turns from a helpful tool into a horror movie for Indians. If you carry credit card debt in India, you are on the wrong side of the equation. You are not the investor. HDFC Bank is the investor, and you are the investment vehicle. The returns Indian banks get from you are spectacular. Indian credit card interest rates range from 36% to 42% annually, way higher than most countries. Let us take 36%. 72 divided by 36 equals 2. That means if you made no payments, your credit card debt would double every 2 years. Now, obviously, you make minimum payments, so the balance does not literally double on paper, but the cost doubles. The interest you generate for the bank compounds at a rate that puts massive pressure on your finances. If you have 1 lakh in credit card debt at 36%, the mathematical pressure pushing that balance up is immense. Compare that to your Nifty 50 investment. You are sweating to earn 12%, doubling every 6 years. Meanwhile, your credit card debt compounds at 36%, doubling every 2 years. The credit card debt is 3 times faster than your investment. This is why you cannot outinvest Indian credit card debt. It is mathematically impossible. It is like trying to run up a down escalator moving 3 times faster than you. You will never reach the top. You have to kill the credit card debt first. Its doubling engine is more powerful than any Indian investment engine. Now, let me talk about the smart Indian debt hierarchy. Not all debt is equal. Some Indian debt is manageable, some is a slow bleed, and some is a fire that needs to be put out immediately. Home loan at 8.5% doubles in 8.5 years, manageable. You can beat that with Nifty 50 long term. Car loan at 10% doubles every 7 years, manageable but not ideal. Personal loan at 14% doubles every 5 years. This has to go. Credit card at 36% doubles every 2 years. Hair on fire emergency. Use the rule to triage your Indian financial life. The lower the years to double, the higher the priority to pay off. No emotion, just math. Now, let me share something more optimistic: retirement planning using doubling windows. When Indians try to figure out retirement, they get bogged down in Excel sheets. Those have their place. But for a quick reality check, the rule of 72 is superior. It lets you think in doubling windows. This visualizes how many times you can multiply your net worth in your remaining working years. Real Indian example: you are 30 years old. You have 25 lakh invested in Nifty 50. You expect 12% return. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. You have a doubling window every 6 years. From 30 to 36, your 25 lakh becomes 50 lakh. From 36 to 42, it becomes 1 crore. From 42 to 48, it becomes 2 crore. From 48 to 54, it becomes 4 crore. From 54 to 60, it becomes 8 crore. That is without adding a single extra rupee after age 30. Just letting Nifty 50 do the work. This framework shows the immense power of early doubles. If you wait until you're 40 to start, you lose that first double. You start at 40 with 25 lakh, and by 60, you only have 1 crore 60 lakh instead of 8 crore. You literally cut your retirement result to a fifth by missing those early windows. Time is not just money for Indians, time is a multiplier. However, there is a leak in this boat that Indian finance content ignores. We assumed you keep all that 12% return. But the Indian financial industry wants a cut. They take it in small percentages: 1%, 1.5%, 2% in mutual fund expense ratios. It sounds tiny. Using the rule of 72, I can show you that a 2% fee does not just cost you 2%. It costs you years of your life. Say your regular mutual fund earns 12%. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. You double every 6 years. Now imagine you pay 2% expense ratio in a regular fund. Your net return is 10%. 72 divided by 10 is 7.2 years. Your doubling time stretched from 6 to 7.2 years. You lost more than a year of speed. Over a 30-year career, that is massive. At 12%, you get 5 doubles. At 10%, you get about 4 doubles. That 2% fee cost you an entire doubling in your lifetime. That is your Goa retirement flat gone. That is your child MBA fund gone. This is why direct mutual funds beat regular funds by lakhs over 30 years. Even though the difference looks tiny each year, fees are brakes on your Indian compounding engine. Now, I want to be honest about the limitations. The rule of 72 is an estimation tool, not a lot of physics. It loses accuracy at extremes. At 100% return, your money doubles in 1 year. But 72 divided by 100 is 0.72 years. The rule fails there. At very low rates, like 0.5%, it gets wonky. But for the Goldilocks zone of 3 to 15%, where almost all Indian personal finance happens, it is shockingly accurate. Do not use it to file your ITR. Use it to orient your brain. The other limitation is that the rule assumes a smooth ride. Indian markets do not work like that. Nifty gave 25% one year and minus 8% the next. The average might be 12%, but volatility creates something called volatility drag. Your actual money grows slower than the average implies. So when the rule of 72 says your money doubles in 6 years, treat it as best case. In reality, it might take 7 or 8 years. Always build a margin of safety. If the rule says 10 years, plan for 12. Being pleasantly surprised is better than being short on cash. Now, let me tie this all together for you. You now have a mental dashboard. Every time you see a percentage rate in India, divide 72 by it. FD at 6% doubles in 12 years. Nifty 50 at 12% doubles in 6 years. Small cap at 15% doubles in less than 5 years. Indian inflation at 6%. Cash halves in 12 years. Credit card at 36% doubles in 2 years. Personal loan at 14% doubles in 5 years. Home loan at 8.5% doubles in 8.5 years. This gamifies your Indian financial life. Your goal is to maximize the speed of asset doubles and minimize the speed of liability doubles. It turns Indian finance from a vague cloud of anxiety into a manageable engineering problem. You are just managing timelines. Try this right now. Open your Zeroda or Grow app. Find your portfolio return rate. Do the math. 72 divided by that rate. How many years until your next double? Is that acceptable to you? If not, either increase the rate by moving to better assets or increase your contributions. Also, check your Indian debt, credit card, personal loan, home loan. Divide 72 by each rate. See which one is doubling fastest. That is your first target. The rule of 72 gives every Indian a superpower. The ability to see time in numbers. Every percentage rate you see for the rest of your life now has a hidden meaning. Time. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and watch my next video about 10 Japanese ways to build wealth. Because honestly, the Japanese have some genius money habits that no Indian finance channel talks about. The link is in the description. I will see you in the next one.